known. It's not a popular hotel.
Okay.
So I think it's a hotel of Kocaeli University.
Okay.
So because of it, I think people prefer how can I say,
private hotels.
Much, they prefer much luxury hotel, I think.
Okay. But that hotel was in the middle of the forest, or was it in a very quiet location?
Yes. It was near forest.
Okay, that was good.
It takes 10 minutes, to go forest.
Okay, great. And then obviously the family would have enjoyed much needed break after a very long time. The kids must have been very happy. Okay, that was good. And what did you do during your stay in the hotel? Were you just lying in your bed, or did you go out? Did you venture? Did you do any trekking? Did you go for a trek?
At the first day, we how can I say? We rest.
Rest, okay.
Yeah, we stayed at home
okay.
To relax because of the journey. It was a little tiring, to drive about 3 hours. In the second day, we went to forest, and there were some restaurants in the forest, and they were cooking fish. There is a kind of popular fish there.
Okay.
Its name is alabalık. Yeah, alabalık.
Okay.
So we tested it, but I didn't like it.
Okay. You didn't like it?
No.
Okay. You are you very choosy about the food that you eat, or you are not much of a fussy eater?
Actually, I like fish, but I think because of the cooking method, I didn't like it. Yeah.
Okay. And that was the speciality of that place.
Yeah, but they cook fish, I think in the oven,
Mm-hmm.
But its taste was a little different.
Okay.
I think they use different types of oil, I think.
Okay. So talking about the forest, I have been reading that there is a very wildfire is raging in some of the forests in Turkey. How is the situation now, and why is it happening? Or is it a normal occurrence? Does it happen every year, or is this the first time that we are seeing this? So tell me more about it.
Maybe we talked about the agenda of Turkey before. The agenda in Turkey changed day by day. Last week, the agenda was about refugees, because some leaders of political parties indicated that they would send all Syrian refugees when they come to power. So we talked about them, especially on social media. However, 3 or 4 days ago, a forest fire started in Manavgat. It's in west part of Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
In the first day, it seemed that it wasn't serious, a forest fire, but in the second day we learned that in different parts of Turkey, faced the same, forest fires. According to official numbers, there are about 72 forest fires in different parts of Turkey. Some of them are very serious because, we lost much part of our forests. On social media, there are several speculations. Some indicate that these forests are because of the terrorist attacks. Maybe, Turkey is struggling a terror group, which is named PKK, for more than 30 years. So this group indicated that, this terrorist group PKK, started these forest fires to disturb Turkish economy or to make heard their voice. But in other groups stress that, these forest fires occurred because of the climate change.
Okay.
They indicate that, not just in Turkey, in European countries, we can see these kind of forest fires. But, it can be, during the summer period, forest fires are not abnormal. However, the problem is that in Turkey, the Turkish government does not have a capacity to struggle forest fires. They don't have planes. There are fire planes. And
they do not have the necessary.
A strange thing for you, I don't know, but it's true.
I'm living in the same society. I know that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So yes, sir. So yes. Also, this is the main thing I want to tell every girl, that get married. That's a good thing, and have kids. That's also a very good thing. Have families, and always be a good girl, good daughter-in-law, and first of all, good human being. But just like boys, be independent. Be financially independent is more important.
Okay, great. So that was a fantastic speech, and I asked you this question specifically because whenever you're delivering a speech like that, you also have to try to give a solution, right? So maybe in the same part of the speech, you could have said that my suggestion to anyone, to all the girls, is to be financially independent, because probably that is what you were not at the age when you got married and you didn't want to be, right? So maybe whenever you are preparing a speech on any topic and you're talking about, say, a problem, so you also try to give a solution to the problem in any sense, right? So you are talking about women empowerment or anything. So suppose you are going to a girls' college and you're talking about women empowerment. So there you say that, yes, my advice to all the girls today is that they must be financially independent, because that is how they can control their own life. They need to be master of their own life, and they should not be dependent on others, so that they can live the life on their own terms, right? So these are the kind of things that you could probably include in the same issue. But very well said, and I think most of the things you put across quite forcefully. Very good. You use the word like stubborn and all, so that's good. You also try to use a word called naive, right? Naive. Was that the word you wanted to speak? So it's naive.
Yes, naive.
It's naive. Yeah. Nai, naive. You speak it how you write it. So just check the pronunciation in the dictionary also, and then repeat it after that. Okay. Don't be so naive. Okay. So naive would be different. Naive basically means someone who is a novice, who doesn't know much about life, or who's very new to something. So he's naive. So naive is just an opposite of, you can say, an expert. So there's an expert person or there's a naive person. So naive is a good word, very good word, but pronunciation was not correct, but it is good. And then they were put in the four walls, and also overall I think it was good. But yes, there were also a lot of so you need to control them. And I'm sure once the vocabulary improves, because vocabulary is something that you need to improve it yourself. I cannot help you to increase your vocabulary, right? I can only encourage you to read more books, to watch more TV programs, to make a note of all the new words, and any new words that you are learning, you need to try to bring them to your speaking vocabulary, right? So we are speaking. What I'm giving you is that I'm giving you a platform in which you can speak your heart out, right? You're speaking it again and again. Obviously, the fluency will come this way only. You can have the best of the vocabulary. You would be able to run, say, 50,000 words. But if you're not speaking regularly, you may not be able to bring that vocabulary to your speaking, right? So to how you speak. So that is good. So you spoke well. You almost spoke for more than 5 minutes at one go. So that's a good part. And you could
the most exciting thing is I start to work more on my language so that I can easily take this to the next level. That is the most interesting thing for me presently.
Okay, okay. So tell
Then
me,
you
what,
know,
I guess I asked you this question in the last to last meeting also. What is it that you are doing to improve your communication skills besides taking these classes? Is there anything else also that you do? Do you read books? Do you watch a lot of TV, or do you watch some YouTube videos? What do you do? How do you keep yourself
of
motivated?
course,
What exactly do you do?
okay, okay. To be honest, I don't read that much,
Mm-hmm.
and I am mainly relying on YouTube videos. So
Mm-hmm.
I have subscribed to so many authors who are from Australia, UK, then USA. So I can easily understand their slang or even their accent. So I do enjoy watching those videos. That is the main thing. And I think every day I watch at least one video of length 30 minutes.
Okay, okay, that's
Okay,
good. But
this is the thing I do.
do you also make a note of like interesting words, phrases, slangs, idioms, or you just are relying on your memory?
Oh, actually, no.
No, because if you're just watching it once, then it's quite likely that you will forget what you have heard. If you make a note somewhere, maybe of the strong points of the main point, or the what is the gist of that particular video is, and then you try to paraphrase it, or you try to explain it in your own words. So whatever video
Okay,
you're watching,
okay,
if you watch the video for half an hour, then after half
okay,
an hour, maybe try to say whatever you have heard in that video in your own words to yourself. Make a video of yourself or say it in front of mirror or whatever it is. So that is how you would be able to retain much of the information that you have heard, and you would also be able to articulate your thoughts in a better way, and it will help you in some other way. Because the important thing is that is very good that you listen to a YouTube video every day for half an hour. So that is definitely a very positive stuff. But I would also encourage you to start reading. Although you said that you
okay,
are not that
okay.
much into reading, but if you have
Yes.
never read a complete book.
Yeah, of course. Only in the intention of getting my language better, I just completed 2 or 3 books.
Okay, what sort of book?
Okay,
Novel?
I think a kind of motivating books. I
Yeah,
mean,
motivation.
inspirational books. Okay,
Okay.
you know, one mentor was there. I think his name is Dev Gandhi.
Okay.
So
Dev Gandhi.
yeah, I just read his 80-20 principle. You
Okay.
know, we had discussed in the first lesson about the Pareto
Yes.
principle.
Yes.
So the same thing he is discussing there. So I
Okay.
just completed that book.
Mhm.
So that was quite interesting. So reading really help us to
Yeah.
get to know a variety of, I mean, to enrich our vocabulary.
Yeah.
So
That
that
is.
is a really
But I would also recommend you to pick up a fiction book. It is okay that you're reading
fiction.
non-fiction and you're reading all this, but maybe pick up a fiction book also. Not very difficult one. I'm not asking you to start with a Salman Rushdie novel, but a
Okay.
simpler one, which will not have a very difficult language or something, which will keep you interested in it. Okay, any
Okay.
story, maybe by a
Can you
South.
suggest one or two?
Okay, I'll send you some names. There are many. There are many. So I'll suggest you some names. So I don't know what is it that interests you. Is there any special genre that you want to that like
Actually,
romance or
yeah,
adventure
I
or
do.
horror or
When it okay, okay. When it comes to movies, I like watching thriller movies, especially crime thriller movies.
okay, okay. So I'll suggest you some good thrillers. Maybe just pick one.
Okay,
I've read so many, so but I'll suggest to you. In fact, if you even if you pick, and don't go by those people who say that you don't should not read trash novels, or you should read only the classic one. No, read anything that interests you, because every novel has good vocabulary and you would be able to pick those words very well. Because the thing is,
okay, okay,
another important thing is that we know many words. Like we have our active vocabulary and we have our passive vocabulary. So like if you talk about
okay,
your active vocabulary, uh, active vocabulary would be the words that you use in your day-to-day language, or that you are writing somewhere,
okay,
or you're speaking to somewhere. And passive vocabulary would be that if you read it somewhere, you would know what it means. or if I'm talking to you, or if you're watching a YouTube video, you will understand what that word means. But that is not the
Yeah.
word that you use in your active vocabulary. So your first
Okay.
attempt should be that whatever words you know, whatever words are there in your passive vocabulary, try to bring them into your active vocabulary rather than
Active
looking for
vocabulary.
newer words, rather than looking for
Okay.
difficult
Okay.
words, more difficult words from here and there,
Okay.
because you already have a huge vocabulary. The thing is that they are not, all those words are not part of your active vocabulary. So whatever you know,
Okay.
those words, the first attempt should be to bring your passive vocabulary into active vocabulary, and then go looking for then go look for more difficult words. But what we normally do is that
Okay.
we start looking for very difficult words from here and there, and we
Yes.
start, IELTS exams and this exam and that exam, and we pick up words. But those words, we in any case we don't use. So there is no point. Okay, but for sure we need to expand our vocabulary. Even our passive vocabulary should be big enough. But what I'm saying is that it is much easier to bring the words in our passive vocabulary to into our active vocabulary. So like when
Okay.
we are having these sessions, then try to use some new words which you normally don't use. Okay, so that is how you would be able to bring the word from your passive vocabulary to your active one.
Passive vocabulary.
And not only
Okay.
in these
Okay. Okay.
sessions, then you would be able to use those words outside these sessions also. So that should be the aim. I will suggest you some books, some decent ones, and then just start reading the book. In fact, there are many interesting blogs also.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
don't want
Sure.
to go
Sure.
through a novel, maybe you can start with some blogs, interesting blogs, and there are some very funny, humorous ones as well. So they keep you interested, and you don't have to read very long stories also. So that is what you can do. But I will still. So reading is definitely a very good habit. So if you can inculcate the habit of reading, that can help you a great deal. Okay, so that is
Okay. Sure. Sure. Sure.
definitely going to help you, because when you listen, that is also good. Listening exercise is also very good. So keep doing that, what you're doing. And in addition to the YouTube videos that you watch, maybe when you're driving to your work, you can listen to some of the podcasts. So there are some very
Of
interesting
course.
podcasts also.
Yeah,
Do
I
you?
do that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
I have. Yeah, I have downloaded one British Council podcast app, and
okay.
over there I am getting so many new podcasts day by day. So
Okay.
I, while driving, I just listen that podcast.
That is
So
very good.
maybe as you said, uh, and most of the time I don't know whether I am listening actively. So most of the
But
time,
it's okay. You need to immerse yourself in an English experience. So you are
yes,
listening
yes,
more and
yes,
more English, you're reading more and more. So that is really what is important.
Yeah, the second habit of highly success people is begin with the end in mind. So start with a clear destination. Covey says we can use our imagination to develop a vision what we want to become, and we can use our conscience to decide what ways will guide us. So eh, we all are we all are find it rather easy to busy ourselves. We work hard to achieve promotion, eh, to achieve promotion, higher income, and more recognition and victories. But we don't often to stop to evaluate the meaning of behind this busyness. Behind the victory, we don't ask ourselves to to the thing that we are do so intently. It is what is the one thing that really matter to us. So in able to says that what we do, we should have a clear destination in our mind. By this, we can evaluate to ourselves that the way we are running are a right way for our life. So Kavi say emphasize that actually self awareness help us to reshape our lives. Instead of living our lives by default or by 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 the standard or by preference of others, we have a self-awareness to shape our lives. So come emphasize to self our life, shape our life. We should now aware to our values. And according to the Kavi's, is awareness actually re-scripting of your re-scripting of your life. And re-scripting is that to find the ineffective script that have been written for you, and by doing proactively you can change that ineffective script and change it to your own values. So by and begin with end in mind is also very useful, also very extremely important for the for the organization. For a manager, for being a manager, it is about to efficiency. But for the being a leader, it is about to setting the to setting the to setting the organization motto what we are actually to accomplish. So everything we start, we should have a end in our mind, and by using our imagination, we can develop the we can develop the vision what we want to become, and by using our conscience we can decide what ways will guide us.
Okay, yeah. So definitely this again is a very important habit that we should begin with the end in mind. So we should visualize what actually we want to achieve in our life, and then we should do everything possible to achieve that goal. So when we talk about achieving our goals, there are two kind of, you can say, line of thoughts. There's a line of thought which says that burn your ships. Like if you really want to do something in your life, you just concentrate and focus on that thing and that thing alone, and just persevere and keep working, no matter how hard you need to work to achieve that goal. And there's another line of thought that we should always have a plan B. That if the plan A doesn't succeed, we should go to plan B. So what is your opinion? What do you think? How should we be keeping our goals, and for how long should we continue to work towards achieving a goal? What's your take on that? Should we have a plan B, or should we just have a plan A and should not think about plan B, because that in some ways distracts us from achieving our goal?
Actually, according to second habit of Kavis, that we must have a, you can say, clear destination before we start something. Sometimes it has happened to us that in the middle of something we recognize that it is not somewhat we want. So in that case we must have a plan B. So if we don't accomplish one thing and we don't reach to our goal, then we must have a plan B. Because if you don't have a plan B, then it will be, you can say, very frustrating for someone, and they have no option to continue in a wrong direction. So it is a good if someone have a plan B. So if in the middle of something, if someone recognize that 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 their plan is not, you can say, working, their plan is not working, then they can change their direction into plan B.
Okay, okay, that's great. Okay, so talking about plans, talking about success of people, or is there any specific personality in Pakistan that you really like to, that you idolize, that you idolize, or that you think that he has done really well in his life, coming from a very, you can say, different sort of a background? Do you have any like success story like that, which you can say that that is the person that I would like to emulate? Is there anyone in your
Yeah,
mind?
I don't think so. We have so many motivational speaker, but they talks very good. They talks very good things, and they convey us very good messages. But I suspect that they don't have confronted the real issue. We have you can say, a very young little boy, Ahmad Safi, I think his name. He's I think 10 to 12-year-old. I don't think so. Yeah, a 10 to 12-year-old he is a person, and you can say, he belongs to a very elite class, and I don't think that he have faced so many problems, and I don't consider him or admit him to be a mentor for us.
So he's a
So
he's a
all
motivational
of
speaker.
yeah, he is a motivational speaker.
From religious
And
point of view, from religious point of view, or in general?
No, he is on journal point of view.
Okay, okay, okay.
Journal.
Oh, okay.
And there are also other motivational speaker. I suspect that they don't have confronted the real problem, the real situation.
They've just read books.
I listen many real motivational speaker, and I read a lot, many motivational stories, and many, you can say, watch the video. But when the real situation has come, when I confront to real situation, at that time all the motivational things gone away.
Okay.
And we have to face the real situation. I don't think so it works in real situation. Maybe in some cases it works, but in my case it never worked.
Okay, okay. So what we listen, so whenever we listen to a motivational speaker, or whenever we read a motivational book, then we get charged up for some time, and then slowly that motivation goes down, and then we are back to our true self. So that is there, but sometimes it can help. At least it can, I can say, ignite something inside you. Say, for example, if you are someone who never goes out to jog or to run, and if you listen to a motivational speaker or someone, and then you said, okay, from tomorrow onwards, I'll start running, start exercising. Sometimes there are people who continue with that kind of a habit, but most of the time people just fizzle out after 2-3 days. It's okay, it is not working in my case. So that's very true. So good. I think you managed to tell a lot about that book, about that habit. So before going ahead or doing something else, let me say some of the things that you have said. So what I really liked about it, that your fluency was there, and you used a lot of heavy words also, good words, accomplished, this and that. So you were using it with confidence. Some of the words which were not pronounced correctly, and probably you can work on them, is like one word is, and these are all easy words, these are not the difficult words, like evaluate. Okay, so evaluate you said 3-4 times, but the pronunciation was not perfect. So just make a note of it, and then try to pronounce it again and again, maybe 10 times, 20 times, and then it will come, because this is one word that is going to come a lot in your conversation, in your speeches. So say evaluate once more. Evaluate. Okay, evaluate. So you can go through the video once again, and you'll see how you were pronouncing it. So that was, the pronunciation was a little different. Then words like promotion. So how should you have said it? Not promotion. How do you write it? Promotion. Okay. So instead of promotion, so when you said it, you said promotion. So we don't say promotion, we say promotion. Okay, because after P we write R. So it's promotion. So just repeat it 3-4 times and I'm sure that you will manage to pronounce it correctly. Then script was one word which did not come out right. Many of my Kashmiri friends also, they said script, something of that sort, right? So it's also a Punjabi accent. So instead of saying script, it came as script, okay, or rescripting. So rescripting was also not pronounced correctly. So yes, so you need to pronounce these words correctly. You need to practice a little bit more how to pronounce them. Okay, just say script. Yes, now this time you said it perfectly. Okay, script and rescripting. Okay, so when you pronounced it earlier, it came out as script or rescripting. So it was not very smooth. So you can try them again and again. Okay, then also and not. Again, you are going back to that old habit of saying it's also and not.
Also.
So also and not. Say not.
Not.
Yeah. So when you were saying it, when you were saying it in a flow, it came out as not. Okay. So it did not came as not. So aw need to be pronounced. Okay. Yeah. Also and not. So that is one word. Other than that, I think you spoke quite well. Then could break, could be break, that you had already corrected there. There's another word which is a difficult word to pronounce. It is conscience. Say conscience.
Conscience.
Yeah, conscience. Okay, instead conscience. So instead of saying conscience or conscience, it's conscience. What is your my conscience? My conscience tells me that I should do this, something like that. Just hold for a minute. I have phone call. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, so I was talking about this. Yeah. Also not. Then very extremely. Obviously, very is not required when you are already saying extremely. So you can't say very extremely something, right? Okay. Then the word like manager. So you were saying it like manager. So how should you have said it? Manager. Okay. Manager. So it is manager, right? But when you were saying it with the flow, it came out as manager. That is something that you will note when you will replay the video. Okay. So it's manager. Okay. And then sometimes it has happened to us. You wanted to say that it might happen to us. Okay. So instead of it has happened to us, you should have used it might happen to us. Okay. They talks very good. So many a times I've seen that you also have a tendency of adding an S after the verbs, even when you're talking in plural. Okay. So they talk very good. So they talks very good. So that is what you were saying about the motivational speakers. So that could have been avoided. I listen many motivational speakers. So what is the right way?
I have listened many motivational speakers.
I listen to many motivational speakers. Okay, so listen is always followed by to. Okay, I listen to many motivational speakers. When you are saying that I read a lot of motivational books, I listen to a lot of motivational speakers. So listen is always followed by to. I listen to music. I love listening to ghazals. So you don't say that I listen ghazals. I listen to ghazals. Okay, I listen to motivational speakers. Confront to real situation. Confront real situations. We don't have to write to after confront. Okay, so like I would say, I'm confronting you with a question. There was a confrontation between them. He confronted him with a question. He confronted him. So we don't say confronted to him. So we don't need this preposition when we are using confront. So this is something. These were some very simple mistakes, but I'm sure these will get corrected if you keep them in mind next time. But more important is that at least for the very simple words like also and not, there should not be any error anymore, right? Because it has been going on for a very long time now. So you have to be conscious about when you also or not. Yeah, also and not. Yeah. So when